Yo, what's up, Wabbit? How are you? Yeah, I'm doing all right. How's the channel been? Yes, I have. What's up, Pac? It's probably for the best. I can't say I've been staying out of trouble. Hey, everybody. What's up? Welcome to the channel. My name is Alchemy. You probably knew that if you're hopping in here. I appreciate you stopping in on this Friday evening. We are going to have a short stream, but it's going to be a good one. I just wanted to work
Are you ready?
within the clip launcher and kind of just talking about why I want to do more stuff within this lately. And I want to talk about how to organize it, which I made a video for members, but I'll kind of briefly cover what's going on with that. Hey, Define. So to answer your question though, Tobble, if you look on my channel, there are a few playlists that are labeled unlisted, and you can still watch everything through there. But the reason why I started unlisting my streams is because I'm trying to clear up the algorithm for the other videos that the dedicated videos that I actually put up. And it might not be the best idea, but I don't really feel like uh, YouTube is showing those videos to people, or because they're the same thumbnail, you know what I mean? I feel like people's chances of looking at them are much less. So I'm really just trying to put the newest videos, the stuff that I've been doing lately in front of my audience. But that being said, I'm not withholding anything. It's clearly an algorithm strategy, and you can still find everything on the channel. You just have to look for it. Excuse me. Yeah. So in regards to that, um, I am going to be just giving this a try for the foreseeable future. And I wanted to talk about the pros and cons with the clip launcher of why it can be good, why it can be bad. The first thing that I want to talk about is that the timeline is obviously, well, honestly, better because you have the flexibility of being able to move. You have to actually delete it, or is it enough to set them to hidden to refresh the algo? No, I don't delete them. I just make them unlisted, so that way if you find a link, you can still watch it. It's just not being advertised. Does that kind of make sense? So the thing on the timeline is that like it's a free form timeline, and so you can place anything and hit play from anywhere. But with the clip launcher, you can focus more so on building blocks. And there's also a lot of flexibility within Bitwig that you can utilize as well in order to put a lot of stuff together. And so it really is the same thing in a lot of cases, but this is more of just a hot swap organizational palette as opposed to having to move stuff out of the way on the timeline, and you know what I mean, and try to implement stuff on that sense. So to kick things off, maybe I should do some drum design. I'm thinking of maybe doing like a kick and a clap type arrangement. Um, and then I'm just gonna bust out some synths and like just start getting ideas to like play them over each other in a dumb way. Does that sound like fun? I think we're gonna do halftime today. It's been a while since I've done halftime, so we'll do that. Let's open up with Polymer, and we'll do what I always do. Um, I need to just do this and save this as a default preset because actually sounds pretty good. Click device default, save as default. There we go. What's up, GB? How are you? New. There we go. Drum design today? I mean, yes and no. I mean, I do drum design every day, pretty much. Right? Is there ever a day where I don't do drum design? There are a few, but it's very rare. Very rare. Very, very, very rare. Just to be a little bit louder. That sounds pretty good. Let's do another one. And we're just gonna get some hats. Sure. Okay. The glue. What's up, Squiggly? Good job, Squiggly. Sorry. I just, for whatever reason, I read your name like that. I actually think I like it better without the OTT. It just needs to be louder. There we go. And I'm going to do things a little bit differently on this, but I'm going to try to get some extra. Nice. I'm going to turn this off for just a sec. Oh, dude. It's going to happen. Jesus Christ, man. So what I'm playing with right now is I can hear that there's a phase interruption, I guess I would say, between this kick and this one. And so right now I'm just trying to play with the bump. Maybe you know this in Snoop's Drop It Like It's Hot. How did they make the drum sound so fat while still having almost no actual pressure air moving? Hat kind of trickery is that? I'd have to listen to it. I don't really feel like the drums are like, I don't know, like I have a very skewed viewpoint of drums, and like my perception of big and small is like that of the dog. Is like I have a very hard time perceiving, unless if it's just blatant. I think that was the one. So let's make a new track like so. We've got a nice big old kick, because it's not about the phase being flipped or being it's about it being out of line and different pitches. You know what I mean? If you put something that has a higher pitch right on top of something that has a lower pitch, but they're similar with frequency content, then you're going to have a skewed waveform. So if I play this, see that? Thankfully, there's stability at the beginning of the waveform, so it's okay, but towards the end of the waveform, you can see that it gets all fucked up. But that's just part of it sometimes. Boom. Just needs to be a bar long. Just kind of throw that in there. Let's get into a ugly clap. Dog show. Cool. I like that. What's up, Dennis? By the way, am I saying your name correctly? Or is it or is it Denise? Or Denise? Because I'm Americanized, obviously, and Americanized. I'm American. So the way that I pronounce names are very I can tell because I'm also a Russian speaker. Okay, yeah, so it's Denise. Okay. I had a suspicion, but I didn't want to just assume. gonna move this a little bit over. Hey, what's up, Fudge? How are you? Hey, I appreciate having a large amount of people in here. Thank you for coming in, everybody. There we go. I lived in Chicago for 3 years and used American version of pronunciation. Yeah. Well, I'll call you whatever you want to be called. It's more of just a consideration thing, you know. Actually, I won't call you anything. Like I won't call you daddy or anything, but you know. Sorry, I don't call anybody that. Um, what am I doing? Doing good, man. Life is tough, and then you have a moment of clarity. I'm feeling grateful. How are you today? I'm all right. I'm hanging out. I hurt my knee yesterday, and I'm kind of bummed about it, but other than that, I'm in good spirits. Boom! Now the magic's back. Yeah, guys, I'm sorry. Like I can't show you this plugin because it's too advanced, and you know, I'm worried that everybody's going to be able to just copy me. I don't talk to my dad, so I don't got to worry about that. All right, so that little thing there, we need to just pull off of the tail end. He may be your father, but he ain't your daddy. Commence the gatekeeping. Me? No, I was just somebody made a joke, and I was just playing into it. I don't have that strong of feelings about it because it's just one of those things that's like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? What are we doing here? And the thing is like he could, because that was a snippet, and I didn't see the stream, he could have just been like totally fucking memeing. And that's really important, and I wanted to mention that at the beginning of the video, but in in any case, it's more of, okay, well, something was said and let me speak on that and how I feel about it. You get what I'm saying? But I don't think that Kenny is a bad person or that it takes away from his um reputation from what he's achieved. And I wanted to make sure that I wasn't attacking him and you know what I mean, trying to be disrespectful. It was more of just like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like that's just silly. And anybody could have said it, and I would have said this. I would have reacted the same way. Like what? Ah, there we go. Now we're getting a little bit more of that smack. Yeah, I mean, like, well, what good if I'm complaining about somebody creating a negative space in a community? What kind of person would I be if I turn around and do the same thing? I don't think he was memeing, but it was funny how he brought up Tame Impala. I I know nothing about the production side of Tame Impala, and I can't speak on the matter. So there's that. But um, yeah, definitely a hot take to say the least. And you know what? Sometimes hot takes are okay because it provides something to talk about, especially when not a whole lot is going on in the production scene, anyways. But if anybody has any thoughts on what you all think on the matter, you're more than welcome to bring it up in here. Just keep the conversation respectful. I want some kind of texture. So, oh shit, I fucked this up. What I meant to do, sorry guys, I'm trying to walk and chew bubble gum, was put a mid side in here and then solo this. Okay, there we go. And we're just going to create some crunchies. Hi, baby. Love you. Yeah, I see how we've got some nice little crackling over that now.
Play Borderlands later this week or next week.
If you want to.
It's like brand new.
Oh, it came in?
Yeah, brand new.
It was great. I mean, he did it right. It is ragging a bunch of people, it seems. So that's better than sweeping under the floor because the rug was pulled a long time ago. I think you hit it on the head. You thought it out. Your perspective to elevate the community together was the takeaway from me. Big respect for that. Well, thank you, man. I was talking with Corey about it earlier. Actually, we've had several conversations about it, which has been great. But like you have to understand that when you are in a position like that, in my opinion, because I'm not as big as him, that's a totally different thing if we're just talking about pure reputation. But you have the power of influence. And if you care about people that watch you or you care about like the things that you say, you have to consider how people are going to take it as opposed to, well, I'm just going to say it and I mean something, but I don't care how people, you know what I mean? I don't care how people perceive it or whatever. And I get that there's a time and a place for it, but you have to realize what that statement indicates whenever you're saying, yo, like we need to go back to gatekeeping. You know what I mean? It's like moving the clock backwards with how far we've moved forward within the community. You know what I mean? The other thing that I think is really important to mention is that I don't even want to open up that can of worms again, but yo dog, it's like you're making fucking hip hop. You know, like what industry secrets are you possibly keeping? You know what I'm saying? It's like the bar to entry for that genre is just the concept of what people think is advanced in that community is a totally different thing, and it's not their fault, but it's just like I don't see anybody making, fucking crazy neuro-based stuff or whatever. And to be honest with you, the genre doesn't call for it, but it's like, yo, like anybody could just pick up Koala Sampler and get some fucking loops from Splice and then call it a beat and it's done. And I know this because I make hip hop. And so, you know what I mean? Like you get to this you get to this point where you're like, how are you going to act like we need to like what the fuck are you gatekeeping? What are you gatekeeping? If you're a neuro-based producer, something like that, whatever, I could maybe understand a little bit more because you've got this huge repertoire of just shit that, you know what I mean, that's like no one else is fucking with or whatever. I still disagree with not sharing it, but yeah, it's like what are you holding within the hip hop community? I like and I don't mean to be disrespectful to hip hop because it's still art. It's still something that I enjoy making. It's something that I like to do when I don't feel like trying hard. But I mean, guys, like look, you do this, you do this. Robu doesn't count because this drum loop is actually sick as fuck. But you know what I mean? Let me find something from Zane. Zane has really good stuff. All right, let me find some decap music, right? Because I know that people are more familiar with decap. Synth loop. And then you go, okay, well, I just did that. Like, pretend like you got all this from Splice. And then it's like, interesting synth loop, and obviously I would make different choices, but you get what I'm saying? It's just like, And this is what most people are doing to produce. You get what I mean? And like that's as far as they go. And that's the problem that I have within, a lot of the community is they just go on Splice and then just type in whatever loops they want and then there it is. And so it's like, yeah, of course it's getting stale and stagnant because you're not you're not trying to take it any further or you're not making your own shit or you're not like, you know what I'm saying? You're not really you're just stuck in this little bubble of production and you think that's the end game. And there's so much more to it. There's so much more to be explored. The other problem is that you're not teaching people how to explore. So what do you expect? You know what I mean? If you've got a brand new guy that just pirated FL Studio, knows nothing about music production, and you're like, yo, let me just go on Splice and do this. And then exactly. People think that a reverb chain is a trade secret. And it's like, what? But yeah, it's very discouraging in that sense. And it's like, come on, man, we got to do better than that. Sorry, I'm looking for some percussive makers. Because I'm just trying to get some texture in here. There we go. I think I used Splice like one time in 2019 when I got 2 months of Splice after getting an MPC live. And I have not touched it since. I don't fuck with it. I think that it's not good for content creators. I think that it's not good for producers as it does provide an access point, but it doesn't encourage that same thing that we're talking about. And then people wonder like why why is stuff like hip hop so stale? And I'm like, well, it's because everybody is sourcing from the same thing and using the same drum kits, using the same sounds, using the same basic compositional skills. Like, guys, I love hip hop, and if it seems like I'm being an asshole talking shit about it, like I'm actually only talking shit about one very specific corner of the representation of the entire community. But if you all look up people like Saruda, Chi, Robu, I'd say even Decap, right? Decap is doing some really original shit with the kind of hip hop music that he's making. Golden Child, Alepsis, uh, Insalmia, Eunice, Shield, who else? Who am I not thinking of, guys? Cage, Copycat. Like these are all people that are doing insane shit within the same space, but it requires a much higher skill ceiling to be able to express that way. You know what I mean? Being being proprietary and marketed as the way I have a huge problem with that as well. And that's an issue that is on the creators, right? Is if you say this is the only way to do something and this is what like this is how you're going to become a pro artist, that is a fucking problem. And and the egocentrism behind that is like stupid for one, because like imagine, yo, okay, so I made this comparison when I was talking to Corey earlier, but the way that I compare hip hop to the rest of the electronic music production is like somebody that makes nursery rhymes versus somebody that is trying to be the next Beethoven. They're both valuable. If I hadn't been clear on that, both of them are valuable. They it all has meaning. It's all fantastic, whatever. But if you're gonna sit and act like you're hot shit because you made Old McDonald, and then you hear this insanely profound, other piece of music, and you're gonna act like you're on the same level, it's just not. It doesn't apply, guys. It's just not the same thing. And I will say that to other people's credit, there is definitely a skill set of being a recording artist or working with recording artists and being able to have those skills and whatever. But those aren't trade secrets. That's something that you develop as a professional skill. You know what I mean? That's something that you do outside of the DAW. That's something that you do outside of music production. I mean, people who reach for splice groups and everything are not interested in expressing technical skill. So, this is what I said to those people that are only use splice and shit. You matter. You have value. Like it has meaning, but it's not art. If all you do is go on Splice and, throw 3 loops together and you call it yours, whatever, like, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm totally okay with it. But don't call it art and don't act like you're hot shit because you found a sample that nobody's using on Splice. And then you want to gatekeep it. Man, sorry, that shit frustrates me. I was in the midst of designing a clap, I think. There we go. I think this is what I want to take. So what I'm going to do on this guy is I'm just going to make it like super crunchy. And like, here's the other thing too, guys. I don't think that I'm hot shit because I make all my shit myself. There's people out there that do this as well and do it a billion times better than me. Yes, I agree, but most people don't even do that, Lon. But I'm not saying that, but I'm just talking about just the sheer skill ceiling of what it takes to actually make, you know what I mean? Uh, to put yourself into it. That's really what it is. Like the world, or really, I think that in order to inject some life in hip hop and trap is like you need to teach people how to inject yourselves into it. And there's a huge lack of that. And it's honestly a problem of the genre itself because it doesn't like, and if you think about it, like this shit has so many layers to it, and that's why it's so interesting to me. But think about it. It doesn't make sense to put the kind of production skills that I do into most hip hop because it that's not what artists want. And that kind of sucks. And other people are innovating, and I think that there's an in between, but for the most part, the complacency has come from the beat needing to be simple in order for somebody to be able to rap over it. You get what I mean? But the ball hasn't moved at all, like in the last 15 years. It's still been the, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, in the way that people are teaching it of, yo, like how to make trap drums. It's like, guys, this shit drives me crazy. Hold up. Yo, what's good, guys? So, today we're going to be making trap drums. So what you want to do is like go through your sample library, go on Splice, and you're just going to find some hi-hats like this, and then you're going to get a little roll like this. Okay, cool. Now, like one really advanced trick that you can do is you can do a little hi-hat roll like this, and then, like this is an industry secret here is that you can put these together like this and throw this up and do this cool little like pitch thing, but this is a secret. Like nobody like don't tell anybody that I'm showing you this. It's like, what? Yeah, you're right. You can use my sample pack, which look, I'm not upset about people advertising their sample pack, but that's not the way to do it. That's not that I can't really speak on that because I it's hard when you get in the way of people trying to make money. I just think that it comes off as kind of scummy. Um and at the same time, I'm a hypocrite because I'd be lying if I didn't say that I do that. But I also don't hold it from you. Like I teach you all how to do all this shit. But you get what I mean? And then it's like, so now I need a loop, so I'm gonna go on Splice and then fucking type in sad piano loop and then and it's like, what the fuck? What did I just watch? Does that make sense though? Like, am I tripping or like, do I have a point? I don't need validation, and that's not what I'm asking for. It's more of like, how do you all feel about it? But it's just like, god damn, man. Like we need a hard reset on the production community on a lot of things. And that doesn't mean that there's not quality out there. I could recommend many channels of people that are teaching dope shit. But it's like, I don't know, in the hip hop space, I just I man, cool. So what I was doing with this was just trying to create an extra layer over the clap. I think I'm soloing something. That I am. And I really just want this to be like ugly crunchy. There it is. And now we can deactivate this. I don't know. There's another argument about it that it's like, if you're so worried that you're going to lose the magic after knowing how to do something, you could just not watch the production tutorial. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're so worried that you're losing the magic of whatever the fuck it is, like, just don't watch the tutorial, man. But like complaining about watching a tutorial and then being upset that you like I just that shit makes no sense to me, dude. I'm sorry. I just the fact that these modern hip hop beat makers have a subdivision of people who make loops, which is just melodies, and sell them to people who can't even write a melody is really disappointing. Yeah, I agree. Snoop is like 70. It's a tutorial for little Timmy who just got his peg leg copy of FL and wants to make it out of the suburbs or something. Yes. Yeah. Which, like, that content should exist. You know what I mean? Like, why shouldn't people have access to basic resources like that? But it's more so of just the attitude that people have that bothers the fuck out of me over things like that. You know what I mean? And it's like this whole thing of like the gatekeeping thing. It's like, what are you implying, man? What are you doing? Like, why is this? I don't know. I'm gonna shut up. I'm just gonna start working on some shit because I think it's dumb. I think it's dumb. Dude, if I figure out how something is made, I get inspired. Like I'm like, oh fuck, I actually learned something new that's valuable. Like let me open up the DAW and go try it. You know, I used to spend hours watching tutorials. I still spend money on, paying other people for lessons because I know that I can't figure everything out on my own. And this whole thing about like, oh, just figure it out on yourself or whatever is so, ah, dude, it's so like, you would never say that about math. You know what I'm saying? You would never say that about so many things. And also, let's not like Like, look at how far some other things have advanced from having tutorials, right? Look at how far skating has evolved. Look at how far tricking has evolved. If you guys are into like acrobatics and stuff, gymnastics or, breakdancing, and those things are art too, right? Photoshop tutorials, whatever. It's like, there's so much value that has been put out for that. Finally decided giving up on expecting people to actually want to learn is too rare of a thing these days. Well, that's why I don't teach martial arts anymore. Is because I got tired of trying to compete with people that just wanted to get in the cage and do MMA, and like there's a time and a place for it. I respect it, but I was just doing something, or I do something completely different. And you know what I mean? But like that's what people want. And unless if you adapt, then your business or like your establishment is going to lose traction. That's also part of the reason why I don't really teach that much anymore either. And I've gone through this like extreme makeover of my content outside of streaming because I still want to be able to make music and stuff, And that's what this is for. But if you look at things from a perspective of the tutorials that I used to make, they'd be like 35 minutes, an hour. Like people just don't care enough about it and they don't have the time to sit down and watch how I'm about to fucking do whatever it is that I'm about to do to the space. You know what I mean? Unless if you guys are here to hang out, that's a different story, which that's why I try to be uh, involved with what's it called? Involved with chat. But on that level, I started trying to find stuff that's streamlining the process and the implications to where I'm not trying to give you everything. It's more of here's a path, go explore. Because you're never gonna like perfectly remake whatever it is that I make anyways. Not that this is anything special at the moment, but you know what I'm saying? And then I also started doing the beat making videos. I might do more skits. I don't know. I if I can come up with ideas, I'll do it, but it came to me on that moment and that's why I threw that out there. Um, so I teach a couple of things. If you go to Evolution JKD, then I'm not on the website anymore because I'm not actively teaching, but I do Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do. And then it's the other thing that I teach is called Doji Kung Fu. They're both from the same instructor, but the Doji Kung Fu is not traditional in the sense of like forms and all that. It's really just combative mixed martial arts. So it has a combination of 9 different arts where it takes the fundamentals of them and teaches you how to transition in between each one of those. So you learn how to go from striking to grappling to throwing to locking to how it transitions into common weapons, like stuff from Kali or whatever. And kind of just like a melting pot of fundamentals. And what usually happens is when you become, at an instructor rank, you go and specialize in one of those arts. And so for me, I got the JKD first, and then I got the Kung Fu later. My instructor's ex-wife, had brain cancer, and he was going to shut the school. Me and 2 other guys stepped up, and we got our instructorships and started teaching. Then I taught there for a year, and then I moved to Vegas to go do Circus Soleil. And I did Circus Soleil for a few years, and then I got hurt, and now I am doing music production. So that's been my life. I think that like there's nothing wrong with being self-taught, but I think that you should do more, or like you should always be looking to gain influence outside of just I'm not going to do anything but teach myself. You know what I mean? Like people that are like, "Yo, I'm self-taught in fighting," like I'm always like, "You're a fucking joke." You might be really tough. You might be, genetically really strong, but to be like, "Yeah, I developed my own style from reading Bruce Lee's book and now I have my own thing." It's like, fucking save it, dude. Ugh, fucking save it. Yeah, that's a totally different political problem, but um I think that it's foolish and I'm just talking about from my own perspective, but I think that it's foolish to think that I can be my best and reach my full potential with only my perspective. You know what I mean? Because that would mean that I am so arrogant that I think that I can just figure anything out, and I'm just, you know what I mean? That I'm so smart, I'm so talented that I just do that, and that's kind of the vibe that I got when Kenny was mentioning that, and I was just like, "Bro, like, no, I literally am that ghetto kid, but I was aspiring artist tortured by my mother as a kid. It's not the result of choice." No, no, no. I'm not taking that away from you, but I'm recommending that you seek outside knowledge for whatever it is that you care about. Like maybe you're beyond music today and you're like, "Ah, I don't really care," or whatever. That's fine. But if you have other hobbies or other things that you're interested in, find a teacher, man. Like having a I grew up not having guidance as well, and it wasn't until I was 19 that I got an instructor, and he was the only like real mentor that I ever had, and it changed my life. And even though I don't talk to him as much, I still have like a really good relationship with him, and I still, have a lot of philosophical talks with him, but he's somebody that helped me to point in the right direction and sometimes not even give me the answer, but rather a means to explore. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's not even about martial arts. Sometimes it's like with tricking or sometimes it's with music. And I'm like, hey, what do you think about this? And it's just a soundboard, you know? People aren't designed to self isolate. And sometimes we get pushed into those positions, but we are creatures of a tribe, like that's where we thrive is being in a community, for better or for worse. We are engineered that way. So if you can find a way to make the most of it, do what you can on your own, but find a mentor that's older than you, find a mentor that's younger than you, and find a mentor that's your age. That would be like my Sifu advice. Well, a good leader wouldn't ask you to follow. They would say question everything, right? Because otherwise you're getting into a cult. Okay, this is a little bit too like growly for me. I still want it to sound like a saw wave. There we go. Okay, it's on the right track, but I wanted to have a little bit more character as well. So let's go into multipass. And I'm just going to split this up and have a separate band for this. Probably just something here. Sure. I've always tutored others everything, no matter what. I spend the time in that way. I de-internalize repetition with slight variance to different contexts. Well, like when you become proficient at something, I don't believe in mastering, but when you become proficient at something, instead of looking for new stuff, a lot of times you go back to the beginning, but you do everything at a higher level. You know what I mean? Like if I'm imagine doing a punch as a white belt versus somebody doing a punch at a black belt. Like it's the same punch, but the expression of it is not. It looks totally different. And those are the kinds of things that I think that people should be looking at when it comes into this kind of stuff. Is to just because like at a certain point, most things that are systemized are not new. It's just two things, two or more things put together. And if you're able to break things down into a sense of components, like what I'm doing now, right? It's like a fucking recipe. uh, then you kind of just build off of that. But I don't know, man, like those cooking channels, with all that food, like I really, thought that it was magical, but once I figured out how to make the cordon bleu, I just lost the magic for it and it no longer tastes as good. Right? Now that I know how to cook fried rice, I don't want to make it anymore. Cause like I've been there, done that. Nope, has to be followed to the T. You're telling me a chicken fried this rice? Played for beginner shape was a D minor, played for a crazy virtuoso, 8 billion shapes. Yeah. Oh, shit. This is supposed to be 85. Okay. So I will show you guys a trick. Oh, here it is. So I really enjoy using this hat maker because for one, it sounds really good. And two, you can do a lot of like interesting implications of this. So if I were to just solo this and play this, then we can actually use automation over this in order to create some different variations. So I'm just going to set the Bitwig Connect over this, over to the decay. Did that record? It did not. Let's do that again. There we go. And so what's cool about this is that now you have this like really alive uh, hi-hat that you can use for a lot of different shit. And you can also make different variations to it by having the, dude, what? By having this clip variation over it. So the other thing is that the automation is already there. And so you can place this and change and make different patterns to this as well. So we can be like, why didn't that record? Oh, because the automation isn't on right. That's why. Okay. Let me try that one more time. So now, why isn't this recording? Did I not set that on? I swear I set that on. What's going on? All right. Fuck it. I'm just gonna create an automation clip here. And just do this. Like, I don't know why that didn't record, but whatever. Some things with the clip launcher is still kind of strange to me. Yeah, that's what it's looking like. So I'm gonna go back into here and just fuck with this for a bit. There we go. So now we've also got, let me start deleting shit because I'm getting lost in here. All right, cool. So we can use this to create some other shit here. And what I'm going to focus on for this is really just the placement. Oh yeah, you're right. It's on there. Good call. Okay, so I hear this like really cool thing that we can do with this, but I'm gonna fuck with this for a bit and try to get some different timbres out of it. Okay, so we can go and create a new automation clip under here. Just fuck with this. I know, I love the new sampler update, dude. It's fucking dope. Okay, dope. So what I'll do with this is I'll just isolate here. And I can come into some of this stuff and start to break it up. So on this, I'm gonna get out of automation mode. What? There we go. So I'm gonna throw this in the percussion. Throw this here. I'm gonna give this a little bit more harmonics. Okay, so this probably won't benefit much from having something like that with this kind of percussion, which is okay. Nope, 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 no. But if I'm gonna go this route, then I probably want to do some kind of like 808s or whatever. So maybe it would be a good idea to design some 808s to go with this as one idea. And that's part of actually like this is now getting into the weeds of why I wanted to use the clip launcher, because now I have this chain of an idea that I can like demo, if that makes sense. And it kind of opens up some options for like where do I want to take this track. Hmm. Funnily enough, this counts as trade secret because it's a recipe specific to the DAW for comparison back then. We coupled pressure aftertouch to sample offset like slicing and play manually. So it was about the actual feel of the drum pads. Yeah, I get that. But that's not going to like, that doesn't get in the way of people making better music. Like that's just a, like, that's a way that people can, you know what I mean? Like fucking make better music. That's not something that I would wanna keep from people and be like, "Yo, this is a fucking secret," and whatever. It's more of like, "Oh, well, shit, guys," like, I don't know, man. I'm trying to actively avoid or trying to just, like, let that go. Okay, I'm gonna try to give this some life. So I'm going to. I want this to be a little bit more like. Boom, da 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 da. There we go. Okay. So, you know what I haven't done in a while? Water park. That sounds so fun right now. It's too hot. Like it's 111 outside today. I'm just gonna make a clip over here and just try some shit. Waiting for what? Oh, I know what you're waiting for. I know what you're waiting for. That's pretty sick. All right, give me a sec. Like, come on. I'm trying to. I actually have the keyboard, or I have a keyboard in front of me today, and can actually do some shit. I'm just gonna create a straight line. This. Oh fuck. Wait. There we go. There we go. No. Ugh. There we go. Maybe like 2. Yeah. Okay, so with I'm not happy with like the pluck sound or whatever, it's just a placeholder. But we can duplicate this. And I think that 1 to 2 bars for this is the sweet spot. But let me get this up here. Throw that in there. And we're just going to create a ... But this needs to be over here. Could be fun with a 4K 43-inch touchscreen. Really miss the old hardware, rugged knobs. I mean, okay, so I actually have hardware, and part of the reason why I am doing this within the clip launcher is to just continue to formulate a bridge. You know what I mean? Because the way that I'm working on this with the clips and all that other stuff is the same way that I'd put something together on an MPC or a Digitact. You know, the only big difference between the two is that I have all the sound design capabilities that I want on this. You know what I mean? And so because of that, it's given me the best of both worlds. But who's to say that I don't build the loops here and then throw them into the Digitact and like remix it, or you know what I mean? Just do something fun with it. Well, as compared to the timeline, this feels like a completely different, it's not, but it feels completely different because of the nonlinearity behind it. But with this, like I can print all of these clips as loops or whatever, and you know, all that shit. And so it makes it a little bit easier for me to whatever, you know. Makes it easier for me to do shit. I can't talk right now, I'm sorry. I can't fucking help. Cool. So with this, we'll just yeah. There we go. And on this guy, we could cut this up and take this. And, oh, that's why. I was like, I want my fades. So now we can create a moment here. Oof, that's tough. Kind of an awkward question, but did Mick reach back? Yeah, I've had a few conversations with him. Okay, dope. So now that we have this, we can actually elaborate on it and make it into a more interesting sound. And so what I can do is set these two to McMahon, Mick Gordon. So on the clip launcher, I'm going to set these to play mode, main launch, follow action. Just round robin. Mick Foley. Okay, so since we have this now, we can start to elaborate on making this into a more interesting sound. I usually just use sine waves or like distorted shit like this because it's cool to have variation and or sorry, not variation, but it's cool to have a placeholder that now we can elaborate and like make this into more interesting stuff. So I'm just gonna let this play while this moves and I'll sound design to it. I've got this in the background recording and dope. Sorry, whenever I get into production, I stop talking, but if anybody has any other like things that y'all want to talk about or discussion points or something, I'm more than happy to to go into that. It's just that now I'm kind of getting into like concentration mode. Wait. You see yourself as a teacher. What you uniquely possess is integrity. With your shorts criticizing other producers, I feel like you've moved away from what you actually give a shit about. I didn't criticize other people. I criticized something that was said. And also, I didn't criticize them as a person. I didn't criticize their music. I didn't attack their character. I did something that was in a means of here is a topic and this is what I think about it. And I think that's okay. If you disagree, that's also okay. But I mean, yo, like you got to realize that I'm a person with my own beliefs and uh my own values and in how I feel about where the community should go. If you think that I should just not ever say anything or ever speak up about something that, you know, another person is saying or whatever, then I don't know what to tell you. That's fucking sick. I don't disagree. Oh, well, I mean, I'm just trying to understand your point of view because you say, I feel like you moved away from what you actually give a shit about. And something that I've always been a proponent of is the community and the way and what I want people to take away from learning production. And I feel like this is one of the most relevant things that I could possibly comment on. It'd be like saying, it'd be like, to me, this is the same thing as being like, yo, you just shouldn't talk about AI because it's not what you care about. And it's like, huh? Well, what about the impact that it's going to have on, millions of people? And I'm not saying that Kenny Beats has a reach that far, but like there's a lot of problems that I've noticed within that side of the production worlds, and I think that it's important to to say something about it, right? That was sick. So I'm gonna try to put that in here. I don't know, man. The cool thing is that people are always going to, have their own opinions formulated about this kind of stuff. And that's kind of the point, is that you're allowed to do that. You know what I mean? Sick. All right, we need to do a little bit more to this though to make it a little bit prettier. Everything sounds so distorted. Okay. Thanks for coming in here and laying your opinion down. Like, would you come in here and expect something pretty? Have you seen my face? Nah, man, we make ugly sounds in here. The world is loud. When you grow up too loud, then you start to enjoy it. It's a weird psycho bubble. Nah, man, it's part of what I do. We do need to control some of that mid-high. Right there. And then also some stuff here. Well, I mean, you have to imagine that some people from that that aren't normals or like not, yeah, like regulars, I would say, that come in here often are checking my channel out and being like, oh, if you think you're so hot shit, what do you make? And so. Okay. I took too much of the low mids out. I don't know this man and honestly couldn't give a fuck. You're a teacher, aren't you? Even if you're right, it could be perceived differently. First of all, I think that it's important to say that I'm a musician first or a producer first. I'm not a musician. I'm a producer. Second of all, like, in response to something controversial, there's going to be controversy. Thank you. And I think that I put together a really good thesis for my counter argument against something that I don't agree with. And like I should be able to utilize my platform to be able to do so, because what I'm ultimately doing is influencing other people, right? That's the whole thing behind what an influencer does. But I care about the message that I give out to people. I care more about my own values, though. Does that make sense? I care more about the things that I would normally stand up for. And I believe that the things that I said are right, and I think that I did it in a way that's not disrespectful towards another party. And also is just kind of like a check of, yo, like, dude, you're like, stop. I don't know, like people that think that they're hot shit in the hip hop community just makes me laugh. And as somebody that does both, like I make tons of hip hop. If you guys are brand new to my channel and you haven't heard any of my music, I'm happy to play you a wide range of shit that I make. But hip hop is probably one of my stronger suits. So I feel like I can speak on that platform of being like, I know what it takes to make a good boom bap song. I know what it takes to make a, you know what I mean? Well, it's like I have the history, the music, the experience. So, I don't think that I'm like, a golden turd or anything, but it's like, man, I've been around the block once or twice. I need a crash. So I'm going to use a V9 crash. I didn't say every genre. I said a wide range. And the other thing is like, guys, I've made like 95% of my tracks on stream. Like what you see me doing now, like everything that I've ever released, I've pretty much put on stream. Hey, baby. Welcoming. You guys scare me. You guys scare me.
Recording to logbook.
Yo, thank you so much for the follow, Mr. Fielder. Hey, honey. like this as a texture, but we're just gonna find another crash in here. Something like this. And then, this is a headache. This needs to be 2 bars. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send this to the disk tube. This needs to be in percussion. I'm gonna send the kick to the disk tube. Okay, maybe I will pull the crash out of the percussion. Because right now we're not really getting any of the impact. It's because the impactor is holding it for too long. So I'm gonna set the attack to 0 on this and set the release to be faster. And then I'll start to adjust this. Remember when people were going like, what is this poo-poo update? They just added drums and it's low-key one of the most awesome. Oh, the Bitwig drums? No, no. No, dude, those are fucking dope. Oh, I don't believe in, I didn't mean that in a means of music production. I meant that in a means of mastering something of, oh, I'm a master at whatever craft. I'm a master of beat making or, you know, some stupid shit like that. An artist generally would never say that unless if they're egotistical. But the thing about mastering something is that, like, when you become a master at something, that means that you can't get any better. It means you're done. The journey's over. You get what I'm saying? So it's so stupid to say something like that. You could be prolific, you know, proficient, lots of anything that has the word pro, sure, but I would never say that I'm a master of any craft that I do. And I would never want somebody to call me a master of something. Yeah, same. It's pretty much just a clipper and a limiter. I mean, to that point though, like I don't know how I feel about mastering. I'm not the best mix person. I just try to get my shit loud. And that's something that I would like to know more about. Like when Golden Child was here and he was playing some of his beats and stuff for me, it was just like, it was insane. And he was like, yo, it's really just in the mixing and stuff. And I'm like, all right, well, that's fair. But yeah, like his stuff compared to my stuff was just like night and day. And I was just like, wow, man, this is incredible. But you might notice that I don't ever make mixing tutorials because I'm not the person for that. Well, see, the flaw in logic of this question, all streaming platforms turn your songs down if it's over minus 14 LUFS, is that what makes you think I put my shit out on streaming platforms? Also, why do I care? It still is like the nature, like even if it's turned quote unquote down, it's still the energy of the track that this kind of correlates to. If I wanted something clean, I'd go for something like pretty, you know? But this is a beat that's like, you ever listen to crump music? You ever listen to any, well, shit, any of the other halftime music? Um, it's just, it's the aesthetic. Convolution. Let's give it some space whenever that hits. Oh shit. Thank you. Fair, good to see that you're not trying to teach people something that you don't know how to do. I'm Mike. I'm from England. Hi, Mike from England. Nice to meet you. A loud as hell clip track that comes out of the dot -3 left is going to be perceived louder than the ones that got out at -10. Yes. Why would you be bothered about -14 if it sounds above? It's arbitrary. Skull diffuse compressor over. It's my wall of noise chain. Must have sausage audio. There is no clean. I'm running on me running only devices. I can decouple track volume from master volume and bump it to the limit. Bless you. Thank you. Then why do you want to be loud? What's the goal of it? Pretty dope beat you're working on, but it sounds all distorted. I understand you want hard harmonic edge. It's just the aesthetic. That's it. It's just like the kind of shit that you know what I mean, that I'm influenced by. I'm a Cubase user. I used to use Bitwig. Is it still free or is it paid these days? I don't remember Bitwig ever being free, to be honest. Maybe you had a free version where like the demo was unlimited, but you couldn't save projects. But I've been using Bitwig since 2019, and I've never found it to be free. Is this in the right spot? No. What is this on? Shit, where did I put the bit crusher, guys? God damn it. Where did this go? Did I put it on the master? No. Reaper, maybe? Yeah, maybe Reaper. Reaper. Maybe. Maybe Reaper. Maybe Reaper. Reaper will make you into a believer. You know what I'm saying? Fuck. Try being distorted is the same kind of deal as cool grungy photo being covered in grain. Maybe Arriba. Arriba. I don't know. Yeah, I'd like some texture over this as well. I think that would be nice. I usually just like to use bit crushing because like adding noise and stuff to it, like I'm just gonna use the regular bit crusher because I think I'm going to be able to get a different sound that I'm looking for. Cakewalk? Oh, Cakewalk, yeah. up, Zane? So I want to create a variation of this, and it could be cool to just duplicate this. And we can set up like a macro to the reverb or something. That might be cool. Actually, I'll do it this way. Wait. That's interesting. Do you guys see that? Can you change the global unison on this? Oh, imagine if you could modulate that. That's interesting that you can do the polyphony, but you can't do the other options that are on here. I started on Cakewalk, a very bad experience in the end because a guitar company took over. Yeah, BandLab. Then I moved to Studio One. Tried Studio One, settled for Cubase. Maybe something like this. And just cut it off. Right there. Just try to create some movement over this. Like so. Maybe we'll see if we can catch the tail end of that. Cool. Let's make some other bass sounds that could be fun to implement within this. The whole vibe has swing to it. Yeah, everything is off. I'm not sure if you're familiar with halftime music or not, but that's where all this comes from. It's just like a ton of fucking rubato, and that's what gives it a lot of the attitude for me. Shout out to Zane, Zane Wolf, my darling. He's like one of the main influencers from one of my biggest influences for like cultivating this style, and he's just somebody that I've learned a lot from, and every time he comes in here, it's a treat. Love you, Zane. You're my G. Where are we at here? There we go. You're gonna need to stop that? No, man, it's credit where credit's due. You know what's on my tricking playlist every day? I'm gonna get copyrighted for this. I bump this song every time I go flip. Love that shit. Oh, that's cleared. Yeah. Of course, man. About the course. So we're gonna set this up. Oh, dude, that's just one tune as well. Like, you gotta listen to his discography. You can find him on Saturate and also, what's it called? SoundCloud. I know, right? I get copyrighted every time I make a fucking kick. Literally, every time I make a kick, I'm probably gonna get copyrighted on this, and you're gonna see a post about it later. Okay, I'm just gonna use this for placement. What happened there? Solo this. That's dope. Okay, let's add my little. This is my secret sauce that nobody can know about, even though I copied it from Disprove. Nice. The fact that such a kick stem can be under copyright. I know, right? That's like the dumbest shit I've ever heard of. I'm gonna try to make this a little bit more interesting. There's another neurobass in here, so I'm just gonna grab this guy and put it onto this as well. Just put it here, go cancel. Oh, one other plus that came through this month was Scope hitting me up about using my samples. That's what's up, dude. Let's go. Big up Scope. Let's make this a little bit more monstrous. No, offset. And let's maybe see if we can add just a little bit more noise to this on the top end with some of this stuff. Sometimes this can be helpful. Cool. Let's create a variation of this. create a call and response with this, as opposed to it just being the same thing. Then on this, we can do another version where, let me just move this over. And we can maybe make some different shapes through this. Just give this a little bit of touch here. Where am I? Who am I? Then I'll switch this up a little bit. And then maybe something fun that I can do is move the envelope of this over just a little bit. So that way, over time, just place that here and see if we can get a variation of that. It's actually pretty sick, but a little bit too much. I'm gonna slow that down as well. Just file copyrights over white noise. Yeah. In this variation, we need to have like some kind of notch here. It's pretty dope. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to duplicate this and delete this row. And I'm going to do some resampling here just for fun and shit, and get some other implementations of this in here. So shit, I did the wrong one. There we go. Okay. So within all of those variations, what I'll do now is I'll create a new thing. I'll go into this and just toss this into the sampler here and set this to F0. As soon as I started listening to metal, I've heard many of these awesome takes about how computers made music bad. A buddy of mine wouldn't shut up about how an amp takes the cool out of things. It's kind of funny. I've been drinking. I apologize. This is like the drinking hangout spot. Need to set this to loop. There we go. One-way looping. I should probably just do this in phase plant, to be honest, but actually, maybe I might do that. I think that phase plant just is, it's easier. No, it's easier to control. And get where I want to be with this kind of thing. So now within this, we can make some cool stuff happen by setting this on. We're going to right click, set this to F1. Lock the root, lock the loop. Move this over. Genre follows technology, right? Usually. Usually, hating on a music genre doesn't make you cool. It makes you slightly racist. Oh, I was like, huh? Like that's a new one. But yeah. So I agree. I also think like calling a spade is important. And you might have a different take on this, and that's totally fine. But I think some people could probably perceive some of the things that I said about hip hop as hating. The caveat is that I make a lot of hip hop, but I was very adamant to point out that making hip hop is significantly easier and way less technical than a genre, say, like with what I'm doing right now. And it bugs me when people act like they're hot shit and all they do is throw together a few loops from Splice. It's not to say that it's not valuable. It's not to say that it doesn't matter, that there's not, you know, importance to it. But I do think that it's kind of ridiculous for somebody to act like hot shit, you know, when you have people like you or Cage or Chi, you know what I mean, pioneering evolution of hip hop and like showing what that side of music could look like with some actual fucking prowess and effort, you know? And that's something that bothers me. I hate when people just think that they're so fucking cool and they make like this four note melody trap thing. And they're just like, yeah, dog, like, look what I did. And I'm like, oh, god damn it. It reminds me of people that act like they know JKD on the internet. Yeah, I don't think you should do it in any genre, but if you're going to do it, don't do it in a fucking, don't do it in something that has it's like drawing stick figures and thinking that you're fucking Picasso. Like, there's charm to stick figures. I like stick figures. I love stick figure animation, but you know what I'm saying? It's just like, what are you doing, man? Oh man, these sounds. I think that we need a few more layers for the percussion to have just like some movement over the top. So I might go and look for some crashes and stuff. Yes, I totally agree. It was a completely different ball game back then. 100%, bro. Like zero argument against that. And those people deserve their flowers. You know what I mean? For the time. But it's like if the Beatles had never been invented and they tried to come out with music today, I think that they would get laughed at. You know what I mean? Just because the like everything has advanced so far beyond that. But at the time, they came up with something that nobody was really like fucking with, and it was revolutionary for the time period, right? Now I can't stand the Beatles because of how repetitive it is. And it's weird because I feel like a lot of that side of the community is still stuck in that, yo, like sampling and this and that is like, just really hard to do and like just such a chore. Yo, I just make music off of Splice and throw together loops and it's just like, oh, yeah, it drives me crazy, man. And maybe it shouldn't. This shit shouldn't bother me, but I can't help how I feel. Okay, I want to use a different sound for that, but I'll have you know, I think my mixes are the hottest noise walls around. To me, that is. I also know what a lot of folks like. It usually isn't the hottest noise walls, but to each their own. I believe the Beatles would still be hot shit as long as they had good marketing. I don't think they would, man. I think most of even the rock world would be like, who could say, right? Who knows? But I personally am like under the impression that I don't know, man. I think either way, it's like it shouldn't the way that I feel about this, and even though I'm kind of low key calling some shit out, I don't think that it should deter people from making any of it. It's mostly just a boom, cut, cut. I think this needs to be like somewhere right here. It's just kind of like I said, calling a spade a spade. Okay, so now that we have this, what I am going to do is move this over to the timeline. Just this. I gotta go, but I'll spend just a couple more minutes getting some stuff out of here. But I don't know, Zane, do you ever fuck with the clip launcher? Drums left, bass right. Well, if you think about it, like if you're facing a stage, not everybody is just chilling in the middle. You know what I mean? Like, especially drums, when you actually hear drums, like a lot of times it is over to the side. They're panned over. So even though like it's being pushed through a PA through mics and stuff, like you still have initial sounds of like stuff that's moved over. But rock and live performance and live instruments is a completely different thing than what I'm doing right now. You know what I mean? They would open a show for Sleep Token. Yeah, I don't know, man. Super texture. People decided to go slow on me. I've been switching back and forth. In between Ableton. In between Toblerone. It's cool shit from that. I think with this texture maker though, it's bruh. Okay. It's not the one that I was looking for. Void. Full selector? Maybe. I don't remember. I made one the other day and I don't have the time to make one at the moment because I need to leave very soon, but nope. Void. There we go. Classical hardpan solo instruments are the devil incarnate to my ears. I rarely ever hardpan anything at all. Well, back in the day, they didn't hardpan, but you got to fit them somewhere within, you know, you got to fit them somewhere within the auditorium or the concert hall. You know what I mean? They only had a 5-year run and they changed a shit ton. I don't like the Beatles, by the way. I don't either, but I do think that they definitely deserve credit for what they did back then. I just don't think that people would be as impressed now as they would, you know, like a pop artist or whatever. Come on, Bean, give me something. Alright, that's cool. And so something that I've realized within this is like this kind of stuff, just leave it out here until you're ready to like implement on it. I think that this works best for the main production side of things where you're trying to sketch out different ideas that are on a general sense. And then what we can do is drag it all out and complete the thing, you know? Panic reverb or delay in the other ear. They'd probably lean into the whole Tame Impala MG scene. Yeah, I don't know, man. Oh shit, wrong one. Where's the sub? Oh. Cool. That's pretty dope. So anyways, we'll just call this like a clip launcher exercise. So in any case, I want to explore this more because I think that it's a nice change of pace to have like different stuff on here and to just jam different ideas. And really not worry so much about like having all the crazy fills and all that shit immediately, but just having some different compositional pieces that are more relevant to, you know, not just doing like glitch fills or having like crazy unique moments, then sketching an arrangement with it and moving it back over to the side and piecing that out. Indie pop beatles sound kind of fun, but I'm gonna eat another sugar cube anyway. But yeah, guys, I gotta run. I hope that you all had as much fun as I did, and I appreciate you coming in and joining me today. I'll be live tomorrow for a bit, and maybe I'll keep working on this, or I'll just like start a new project or whatever. But yeah, I really enjoy doing this, and this has been a nice change of pace as opposed to just working on the timeline. Do me a favor, everybody. Two things. Alchemy.com. Like the video, please. Please do me a favor and go watch my second channel. I've got a lot of work into those, and I've got a new video coming out this weekend. And everybody, please go follow Zane Wolf on SoundCloud. Just type in Zane Wolf, you'll find him. He's my dear friend. Aside from that, guys, I gotta go play Riftbound, and I gotta dip. But have a great rest of your evening, and I'll catch you later. Okay, bye, everybody.